How much are you gonna have to grind if you can't put a hot pass and you have to go straight into using 7018? If you grind too much, then you can burn through and that'll automatically bust you. If you don't grind enough, you can also leave some trash. So you kind of go in between, and I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna go ahead and grind it, and then we're gonna go ahead and apply the first pass, which is gonna be the hot pass with 7018. This is a well test that eventually you're going to take. They're not gonna let you put a hot pass like you normally do when after you put your bead in with 6010, and they're gonna want you to put it with 7018. Let's get into it. This right here is the bead. I'm gonna go ahead and grind it, and I'm gonna show you right after it. Basically what you wanna do is you wanna get everything that's in the middle, and then on the sides, on the edges, that's where you can kind of trap some slack. Now, I didn't go too deep. I just barely, went up and down all the way on my bevel. This is for my beginners. There's a lot of guys that do it different, but if you're a beginner, make sure you take your time on the grind and don't overdo it, because 7018 will burn through it, especially on the bottom side. Now, when you're coming here, we're gonna go on the bottom. You want to rest your metal, on the bevel itself, go through the middle, and then go up to the bevel. So that way you don't spend too much time on the bead, and then, that way you don't actually burn through, because you're resting all that heat on the bevel itself. I'm using this ESAB Rogue. I put it at 85 amps. This is the first time I'm ever using the machine. So I'm gonna show you what 85 amps looks like on my table. So I tried it out right here on the table. And as you can see, it's not very hot. It's not very hot, but it's also not very cold. The bead looks pretty consistent. So I'm gonna stay with that heat. I could probably go up to 90 after I put the first hot pass and crank it up. So at 85 amps, that's what we're gonna be using to put our hot pass with 7018. This is my bottom right here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start right here, but I'm gonna start right on the bevel. I'm gonna spark right here, get it in there, and just weave it back and forth. And just look at the metal and see what it's doing, so that way you can pay attention. If it starts getting too hot, especially in this area right here, you'll feel it, or it starts getting real soft, so you got to pull out or kind of rest on the bevel itself. This is what it looks like right there. So on the next pass, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to hit, you can either do it, put one on the bottom and one on the top, but if you got plenty of room, I still have plenty of room right there, I could just weave it and put another one right on top of that one, and we'll continue our fill.